I'm Lizzie,
And I'm Stephanie.
and wait, hold that thought, Stephanie. I have to go take a shit.
And that is why we are not pink. Shut the fucking door!
I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Stephanie, and today we are talking about poop. Lizzie and I are definitely not afraid to talk about poop. Right, Lizzie?
Yeah, no, we have quite a few memories talking about poop. Or just
pooping,
bathroom entities.
Poop, yeah, just poop. I mean, there's an emoji for poop. It's a big deal, you know?
Stephanie calls me Poopy Pants.
Yes.
So
It's a staple. We used to do this thing, not gonna lie, still do it, where we would take selfies while we were pooping and send them to each other. Pooping's just one of our ththings.
Well, the thing you like to do now is while you're in the bathroom, you will take pictures of your cats.
Yeah, because cats like to hang out with me when I'm pooping. It's not a big deal. Like, that's when they're their cutest.
Is when you're pooping.
Yeah, you always call. I'll send like a Snapchat of my cat when I'm in the bathroom taking a dump, and Lizzie will reply back like, "You're pooping. I know your bathroom.
I know you're pooping.
I know your bathroom, and I know that angle you're taking that picture from. You're pooping." We actually weren't just going to talk about just pooping. We're going to talk about what we thought were called first world poop problems. Like problems that, like, maybe if you were like a starving child in Africa would not be on your list of problems. That is why they are first world problems. Do you have access to the internet? I'm sure you're familiar with the meme. So my biggest, like, first world poop problem would definitely be forgetting my fucking phone. I feel like it's not just, oh, I just forgot my phone, I can't check Facebook. It's like, now I can't fucking physically poop because I don't have my phone.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's problems. Like, because everybody talks, that's one of, like, the most famous first world problems.
Yeah.
Is going to the bathroom to poop and forgetting your phone.
Yeah, I think we just watched a YouTube video, someone else talking about it the other day, because it is a really common problem. And I know, like, even, like, I didn't feel so great a couple of weeks ago, you know? First world poop problems, I drank too much Mountain Dew. But we're not sponsored by Mountain Dew. In case that story makes you want to drink Mountain Dew, we're not paid by them, so don't feel like you have to.
Not sponsored.
Anyway, more importantly, when I was in the bathroom and I was feeling so fucking sick, Brett even was like, "Do you need anything? Do you need a phone? Like water? Do you need something?" Because that's a real thing. That's a thing these days. Because you have to have your phone to poop.
Which kind of makes me wonder. I really wish I could even remember what I did before I had a cell phone while pooping. Because even whenever I had, like, my first cell phone, like my little flip phone, I would text people all the time.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I remember after school, you know, get out of school, I'll get home at 4. First thing I do is turn my phone back on, or, you know, finally I have time to use it. Mm-hmm. Go into the bathroom, take a massive shit, and text everyone just to see what's up. Yeah. Because back then you wanted to text your friends all day. Yeah. Because even if you weren't hanging out, you still want to be texting. Yeah. And when you're an adult, I think it's kind of the opposite. You text when to hang out. Maybe if you have something to talk about, instead of calling, you would text. But I don't really sit around for hours and just text Lizzie like, about random shit.
Hey, what are you up to? Not much, just bored.
That's what I would do. And I remember some people would be like, "I don't reply to mass text." And I'm like, haha, you just did. Like, what the fuck? That's a whole other story, though. I know I used to always have magazines in my bathroom. Like, I think for, like, 3 years I read the same 17 magazine I had stacked away.
That's true,
and I would read the same things over and over again, as long as I had something to read.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it now, I think that's what I did do, it went from being a book. I would always take a book to the bathroom with me.
Harry Potter, most of the reading I did on Harry Potter, while pooping.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now the book has switched to
I
technology.
love to read Salinger while pooping, though. That's good.
Do you know what I read while pooping? Because I was that cool kid? Nancy Drew.
Hungry Hungry Caterpillar?
Yeah.
I didn't do that when I was that little. I don't remember. I do remember when I was young and I had a Game Boy, I would take the Game Boy in there too. And Bradley and I had those things for our Game Boy where it was like an episode of like the Fairly Odd Parents or something.
Oh,
and
really?
we would like go take a shit and watch like an episode of a show.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it was pretty cool. They only had it for cartoon shows though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say definitely one of my biggest poop fears that I know is a lot of people's is just when there's no toilet paper after you've pooped.
Yeah. That definitely sucks.
Yeah.
Especially like I think now that I'm an adult, the like more dramatic version of this is you just got home from work, took a massive fucking dump, no toilet paper, because your dumb ass was supposed to get some. And so you're like, I hope I have paper towels. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially when they're, at least when you're a kid, like when I lived at home and I'm like taking a dump and there's no toilet paper, worst case scenario, I go upstairs and there is toilet paper. But then when you grow up and you're responsible for like providing your own toilet paper, and if you forget there isn't anymore, like that sucks because you need toilet paper. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's a first world problem. Like I said, people in Africa they poop every day without toilet paper.
With leaves.
What really sucks is when you're in public and there's not toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
Because at least at your house, you can, like, slinky with your pants undone, to the closet or whatever. Or to find some other thing to wipe your ass with. But if you're in public, what the fuck do you do? Especially if it's, like,
Pray to God that there's somebody in the stall next to you that is friendly enough to give you some of the toilet paper.
But what if there aren't
stall.
stalls? Like, what if it's just a single, like, the bathroom at my work is just a single-person bathroom.
Ooh.
And people are, a lot of people work there, and it's a lot of young kids and shit that work there. So it's pretty common that someone does use the last of the toilet paper, and you're left fucked. And then there's, like, not another stall, and so maybe there's paper towels, but it's also pretty common that we're out of paper towels. So that's kind of a fear I've had, because I don't know what I would do.
I guess you gotta check first.
Would you pull shit out of the trash? I think that's what I would do.
I mean, yeah, if you're in a public place, if there's no paper towels and no toilet paper, and it was a real messy shit. I mean, most of the paper towels that are going to be in the trash can, it's like just water.
You know what another option is?
So.
If you're not wearing like a thong or something, like if you're wearing briefs, just take off your briefs, use that to wipe your ass thoroughly, and then just shove it in the tampon thing. That's a zombie apocalypse, pooping without toilet paper pro tip for all of you, because I am a genius like that.
So basically, the moral of the story is never wear thongs.
No, because what if you have to poop and there's no toilet paper? Thong can save your life. Socks are also an option. It's up to you. I personally would rather give up my underwear before socks. Because I would be content not wearing underwear most of the time. I always am usually only wearing underwear. But if I could socially, I don't know, maybe I would wear pants without underwear. I don't know.
Say, I rarely ever wear socks. You know that. Yeah, if it's over 40 degrees outside, I'm not wearing socks. So I'd definitely give up my underwear.
Yeah.
Because that's all I have.
Hopefully it's not a thong.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're fucked. Dude.
Wait. Okay, I'm good right now. I forgot what kind of underwear I was
wear
wearing.
briefs. And they're gross and stinky. So I don't mind throwing them away. It's sad how many times I've actually thrown underwear away in public. I don't even want to talk about that. Let's just move on to talking about pooping in public in general. Because I'm a fucking weirdo. Deep pause for weirdness. Pooping in public sucks because you're worried about. What are you more worried about when you're pooping in public? The smell or the sound?
I would say probably the smell. Because all
Because
right.
you're smelly?
No, I'm not that smell. I mean,
I'm
like most
noisy
people,
because
it
I
depends-
get gassy. Sometimes I don't really need to poop. I just need to fart. So I get really worried about the noise.
But there's ways you can kind of like mask the noise a little bit, like do the fake cough while you're farting at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, you can kind of like muffle your fart a little bit with that, or
Yeah. I'm a big
or you
fan
could
of the...
like turn your alarm on real quick so that your phone rings at the same time.
Yeah.
But just have it be like an obvious text message ring right at
Yeah.
the same time, so then it's...
That's really too advanced. I know I'm a huge fan of the flushing constantly. Like when I have to poop, and I like at my old job, we had a bathroom with stalls, and so all the patients would like go use the bathroom there too. Whew, excuse me. So whenever I'd be in there taking a shit, as soon as my ass cheeks touched the toilet, I would just start cranking it and just flush it. And then when it stopped flushing it again. And then I felt free to fart and poop and do whatever I wanted because I felt like that was muffling out all the noise.
Yeah.
So that's my trick to pooping in public, I guess.
But the smell, I mean, unless
There is a thing, because my
yeah, I was
grandma
gonna say, there's
has
got
those
the poopery
things.
now, but if you
Yeah,
don't
my
have
grandma's obsessed with
poopery
those.
and you're taking a smelly poop,
But I see, like,
you can't
the-
mask that.
I see like the flush helps though. The flushing constantly, it doesn't stick around long enough for there to be a smell.
Ah.
That's part of my trick. So my trick is the winner. No,
But then it's obvious what you're doing if you're just
That's the thing.
constantly.
That's the thing. Hold up. That's like works for pooping in a public place with like a stall or something. But if you're pooping at like somebody's house and you're there cranking their toilet, most toilets at people's houses, like at my grandma's house or our toilet, you can't flush it constantly. You have to flush it and then let it build back up and then flush it again because it's not fucking industrial strength.
Yeah.
So if you're just sitting in someone's bathroom taking a dump and just cranking their goddamn toilet, they're gonna fucking know, and they're gonna be probably not cool with it. But sometimes you have to poop at other people's houses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you and I have a certain problem with the lactose.
Ice cream,
Yeah,
yes.
cheese and ice cream.
Cheese and ice cream are on top. Not all milk products are created equally when it comes to poop problems, because ice cream definitely makes me have to poop more frequently and more of a loose stool, and cheese makes it less frequent
Yeah.
and a lot more hard.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I worked in healthcare for almost 7 years, and I don't know. That's just
no
how it
idea,
is,
yeah.
okay? That's how the world works. But it sucks when you like want to have ice cream with a friend, and you're like, I really want ice cream, but I don't feel like shitting in front of you yet.
Yeah.
Like,
It takes a certain level of friendship to be like, yes, I will eat ice cream in
Yeah.
front of you and take a poop in your house.
like, oh, I'm hanging out with this person. I don't mind pooping when we get back to their
Yeah.
place. Or if you're at someone's house. Because there have been lots of times when I've been like at someone's house, especially at a guy's house, and they'll offer me ice cream or something. Like, I remember this one guy thought I was crazy because I never wanted ice cream. He ate ice cream like every night before bed. And he thought I was crazy because I did not want to ever eat ice cream. And this was like, we hung out for 2 years. And he was like, you don't like ice cream? And I was like, I fucking love ice cream, but it makes me have to shit immediately. I'm not doing that. Beer, though, is a thing I also drink and
Ooh,
have to.
yeah.
It's like, if you want to get really drunk, you don't want to drive home. So you stay at someone's house.
And then the next morning.
And you, especially like, okay, my friend Deanna, I hope listens to this podcast. And that Halloween party she had a couple years ago, you didn't go, but you've been to a party at Deanna's house.
Yeah.
It's nothing too crazy. They're a nice, fun party with great people. Also, lots of great beer. So I drink a lot of dark beer. And I stayed in her kid's bedroom, and they had like a bunk bed, and I stayed on the bottom bunk bed, and I had like beer shit farts so bad that it woke me up. The bad smell woke me up. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad. Because Deanna took such great care of me, like made the bed. And then, of course, when I woke up, again, wanting to take great care of me, she had like aspirin waiting on the counter, coffee, and a bottle of water. I saved my ass because I woke myself up from my smelly farts and like opted to take my beer shit then, so no one else was awake when I took my beer shit. Because when I woke up, everyone else was taking rotations in the bathroom with beer shits. Beer shits are a thing.
I think that's because I'm an early riser. I think you remember that from during our sleepovers. I wake up at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So if I stay the night at somebody's house, they're all people that wake up at noon. So
like me.
So I have time to go use the bathroom and take my huge shit. And then I can, like, sometimes I either just, like, stay there, depending on how well I know the person, or I have enough time to shit and then leave. Like, fold up the blankets that they gave me on the couch and then leave.
That's so funny. I remember the one time you, like, left my apartment like that one time, and I forgot to, like, lock the door. And then that night, I forgot to fucking wake up for work. And so it was, like, 7 o'clock at night, and then no one had heard from me. And, again, Deanna, 2 mentions in this movie, or this podcast, and this movie, oh, my God. 2 mentions in this podcast. She got off of work and hopped right over to my apartment, and the door was unlocked. So she thought I, like, offed myself, like left the door unlocked or something. That's not a poop story. That's just crazy. But I know, like I said, drinking usually coincides with staying at people's houses. So
don't drink
whiskey shits and beer shits and stuff like that. Your friend won't mind you pooping in the morning. Just do it. Brag about it. Be like, holy shit, I bet your poop didn't smell as bad as that. And they're going to be like, oh, man, you should have smelt it. And you guys will have bonded over poop. Like Lizzie and I have for, almost 10 years these days. So, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, speaking of having good friends about poop, we asked...
Speaking of bonding over poop problems.
Stephanie and we asked some of our friends about their biggest poop fears and the worst thing that could happen to them while they pooped. So.
Actually, one of the most innocent and funniest responses we got was from my 11-year-old sister. When we asked what her worst fear about pooping or worst thing that could happen while pooping, she gave us 2 great answers. One of her first answers that was something Lizzie and I did not think of was porta potties. That's like your worst case scenario. Pooping at your house, someone's house in public, all much nicer than a porta potty. Porta potties are just gross. That's just how they are. And usually when you're using a porta potty, it's usually at an event where there are lots of people, so it's even grosser because there's a higher quantity of people.
And the poop doesn't go anywhere.
No,
it just stays
the smell and
there.
It all just stays. And you're always kind of worried it's going to fall over or someone's going to tip it over because that's totally a thing people do.
And it's not just poop, but especially like concerts where there's a lot of drinking. I don't know how many times, like at the end of the night, I go into the porta potty and it's like you smell piss, you smell like that strong ammonia piss smell. There's shit. Somebody's vomited in it.
I can't
so
poop
it's
in
like,
that environment.
So it's just all different kinds of
I can't poop in that environment.
Oh.
And then my sister's second thing was if you're pooping and your house catches on fire and you have to get out of the house before you can wipe your butt, and so you're stuck outside of your burning house with poop still on your butt because you did not get to wipe. Very elaborate, but I think that she's right. That would be very unfortunate. That would suck a lot.
I'm going to say that would just be devastating on both sides of the body. Your front has to look at your house burning to the ground, and then your butthole's just covered in poop.
And then your family wonders why you smell. The firemen, you're not gonna get sexy firemen with poop in your butt.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. It's not gonna be a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I asked some of my friends, and well, the two most popular answers I got. The first one is when it's the part in your poop, I have to poop stage where it's like, yeah, I have to poop, but not that bad. I don't have to go right now. I can hold it in for a little bit. And then you sneeze, and that convulsion just makes your poop go, and it's right at the butthole.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you went from, I don't really have to poop, to, I have to use a bathroom right now, or this is going to be all over my pants.
That is an actual thing because
Yeah.
you can't control your butthole when you like cough or sneeze.
Yeah.
And so if you're like, oh, I only have to be at work for an hour, I really have to poop, but I would much rather wait an hour and go home. You're like subconsciously tightening your butthole so you can wait to just have a nice poop when you get home. And then you sneeze and everything goes to shit.
Literally.
For real. Always worry about getting stuck in traffic. That's a totally random one, but that's what that made me think of because the whole waiting after you get off work thing. But sneezing, I'm scared whenever I have diarrhea about sneezing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you have diarrhea and you feel a sneeze coming on, just go to the bathroom. Like bad things will happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of that, another one that was really popular, and it's a little bit more dramatic than can be considered a first world poop problem. But when you're so sick that it's coming out of both ends.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, like when you're throwing up and pooping.
Yeah.
Throw up is a little grosser than pooping, but
yeah.
But it's like,
and then like you were saying with the diarrhea,
you have to be sitting on the toilet while you're, because if you cough and have diarrhea, puking, retching is obviously going to make you diarrhea.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And for most of the time, if you have some kind of stomach flu, you're not taking a normal poop. That is some like sickly diarrhea poop.
I actually, conveniently, just a couple days ago, a really hilarious story happened to me about that. We had this like frozen mac and cheese thing that was like super greasy, cheapo mac and cheese, and it was good though. It was mac and cheese because like even bad mac and cheese is good.
Good mac and cheese.
And Brett ate the shit out of it, and he got sick like that. But we didn't have a trash can in the bathroom, so he puked in the litter box.
Hopefully he cleaned it.
Yeah, the whole litter box got put in the dumpster the next day. No way, that's crazy. And the cats seemed bummed out they lost the litter box, but I'm glad he did it in there.
Yeah.
On, like the floor or something. You know, another friend of mine that commented on this, she also mentioned that having to puke while pooping is terrible. She also mentioned that having someone try to talk to you or like knock on the door, like you're mid turd plopping out and someone knocks on the door. That shit sucks.
Occupado.
And then she's also talking about how it sucks to have to poop at work. And she's even a manager at her work. So it's like she might be taking a deuce and get called up front. Like overhead, like, do to the front, please. Like, you know?
Yeah.
That sucks. Like, that would suck. That would ruin my poop. And that happens at my job, too, because we have, radios we wear all the time. And so you're peeing or pooping. I don't poop that much at work. But if you are and someone radios for you, it's, like, awkward. You don't even want to reply to them on the radio because I'm afraid they're going to hear me pooping.
Yeah. Another friend of mine mentioned... Actually, I think a few of my friends mentioned this. But when you're home alone and you're pooping, because that's actually kind of one of the best times to poop is when, if you live with people, when you're home alone, it's like,
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about anyone else but you.
Yeah, it's all about you. But then you hear a noise coming from somewhere outside of the bathroom. And of course, there's thousands of logical explanations as to what that noise could have been. But we don't think of those. We go automatically to there's somebody in the house, somebody's breaking into my house, and they're going to find me pooping. Or I'm pooping, so I can't, like, what am I going to do? Like, go fend for myself with my trousers around my ankles?
You know what happened to me one time? It was like snowing, and my boss was supposed to pick me up for work because like my car could not go through the snow.
Yeah.
And he said he'd be there like at 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like 3:50, and I was like, I have 10 minutes to poop. I'm gonna poop again. Sometimes I have to poop twice before I go to work because I just don't spend enough time in the bathroom. And so I sit down, and as soon as I start pooping again, he knocks on my door. And I thought, even if he shows up, it's not a big deal because he doesn't know which apartment was mine. But he, like, supposedly guessed or something. I don't know what happened. But it's like I was sitting there pooping, and my boss knocks on my door. Terrible. Just terrible.
Going back to, like being around coworkers and at work, a friend of mine, she works at a bar, and that bar, I've been to that bar because it's at my college school.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bar at the town where I went to college. But there's 2 toilets in the women's bathroom. Now, and that's just already bad news because it's a bar where there's lots of people drinking, and it's like a dance club bar place.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always lots of people there. And there's only 2 toilets for the ladies. There's always a huge ass line, and it's so complicated to have to pee there. But there's no wall between the 2 toilets. There's just a curtain. And you also, to get to one of the toilets, you have to walk past the first toilet. It goes in like a line of door, toilet, curtain, toilet. So if you walk in there and somebody's in the back toilet, you have to take the toilet in front of them. And since they finished before you because they got in there first, then the 2 of you have to decide, are you going to stay?
Awful.
Yeah, are you going to stay behind the curtain, or are you going to open the curtain and walk past them while they're in mid-pee, and then have somebody walk past them again so that they can use the toilet?
Who the fuck thought of that?
I don't know. So it's either do we keep the line moving, or do we take a halt and then wait till we're both done, and then 2 people go in? So,
That's just terrible.
Yeah, it's
you know,
bad.
and that goes back to the whole like pooping in public. I mean, we already talked about it. I think everyone has that problem, but I think especially as girls, pooping in public is even harder because there's that whole cliche fucking joke about how girls don't poop, and it's like so ground into people's head that like girls aren't supposed to talk about poop so much to the fact that they don't even do it. That you shouldn't know that when a lady poops. So ladies are even self-conscious about pooping around other ladies because of this whole quote-unquote girls don't poop thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, anyone who's a girl has heard it, and anyone who's a guy has said it. For sure.
I mean, and I'm somebody that I'm comfortable with pooping. Like, I'm comfortable talking about pooping, obviously.
I didn't wake up and be like, I want to be a nasty chick. I'm going to poop some.
Yeah.
I came out of the vagina pooping, you know? I probably pooped inside of there.
Ugh.
Especially inside of my mom. She deserved it.
Wait, before I go.
Yeah. See you later, bitch. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I know because I was there.
But, I mean, I always feel really uncomfortable pooping, like, on a road trip, and you're doing, like, a lot of gas station pit stops, and you have to poop. So you have to poop at a gas station, but the gas station's super busy, so there's lots of people going in and out. It's very intimidating to poop in that situation for me. Not so much, like, I don't want to people to know that I'm pooping, or this, not even really the smell. I mean, the smell's a little bit of a problem, but when there's a lot of people, you can't really get blamed for it because there's so many people, you don't know who's doing it.
Yeah.
But it's because there's lots of people and they're talking a lot, so it's very noisy and very chaotic, and I like a peaceful setting for my poop. So,
yeah. Like today, I took the most awesome shit ever. I mean, me and my boyfriend that live together, we both poop in the morning. Sometimes one goes first, sometimes the other one does. So I actually went second today, and it just was an easy, like, sit back, relax, check my tweets. Like, it was nice. It was really nice because girls do poop. I poop on the daily. I poop sometimes multiple times a day. Which, speaking of pooping multiple times a day, I poop multiple times a day because I have irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, technically, to healthy, like quote-unquote healthy bowel movements, is you poop the same amount of times you eat in a day. So if you're somebody that eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you should be pooping at least 3 times a day.
Yeah. See, and depending on what I eat, because anyone who has IBS knows it's definitely triggered by certain foods. My grandma says hers is triggered by, she said for a while, by caffeine. I don't have the problem. Mine's like onions and stuff, which I love. And so there are some days where I have to poop so much because of my IBS. And there's this whole long story of I had something else that led to it. But what's interesting to me is like irritable bowel syndrome is not only like the most common gastrointestinal disease, it's like most common in women. Like twice as many women have irritable bowel syndrome as men, yet girls don't poop apparently. Like girls are pooping so much more than everyone. Like that's a thing.
So girls don't poop, but we poop more than guys.
Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, it's not like didn't find any studies. I mean, I didn't look really, but I didn't find any studies where they actually compared how many times boys poop compared to girls. Yeah. But I'm just saying, girls do poop. We're all humans. Even non-humans poop.
Everyone poops.
Everyone poops. There's a book called Everyone Poops. I read it at my doctor's. Maybe if you are listening to this and if you got this far, you're probably like, your brain has exploded. Because we are indeed girls. And we do indeed poop. And we are indeed talking about it. So there's that. Get over it. Get over it. Girls poop.
Yeah, we do.
Pooping's awesome. You should enjoy your life. You should just enjoy everything.
Pooping, I love everything. I love to poop. It's awesome.
Poop is funny. Poop is just part of life. It's a thing. Get over it.
Or when when you have that fart and you think it's just a fart, but it's not a fart.
No, that's funny. I know lots of people have stories like that.
Yeah. Don't trust the fart.
Or like when you're sliding into first and you feel a little burst. Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Well, I truly hope you guys enjoyed listening to us talk about poop. It's actually sickening how much fun we had talking about poop.
Yeah.
I was super excited for this episode just because it's natural. It's something we always do.
When we were actually first talking about the podcast, this was one of the first ideas we came up with was...
Let's talk about poop.
Let's talk
about poop, baby. Duh.
Talk about
and the first world poop problems.
About pooping.
First world poop problems is something that I think I'm seeing people joke about more often. So it just made sense that, hey, we've been talking about poop for longer than you. We should do a poop thing.
We started talking about poop before it was cool.
For real. You guys should definitely hit us up and let us know your poop stories. Hopefully listening to us talk about poop for so long lets you know that we would love to hear about your poop stories. We definitely do maybe even a follow-up of poop stories if we get them. I mean, our
Yeah.
friends sent them to us, and we used them. We love to have one from our followers and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely let us know if you thought it was funny, if you can relate to any of our poop problems. Just let us know what you thought. You can follow us on Twitter at Not Pink Podcast. You can follow me, Stephanie, at Pizza Butt Stuff. And you can follow Lizzie at Lizzie with an Axe. And this was an awesome show.
Yeah.
Happy pooping to everyone.
Yes.
Look it up on Google. Well, how you poop says a lot about your personality. And how your last poop went determines your day. That's a thing.
Yes.
Wisdom from us.
Yes.
Love chatting with you. See you next time.